What's up, guys? Larry Chen here. Welcome to another episode of Hoonigan Autofocus. Today we're at Holly Mopar Fest, also known as Mo Party. I spotted this beautiful drag car, street car, little bit of a show car, right?
All of the above.
All of the above. It was pulling in. Todd is the owner, and oh my God, the struggle was real. Trying to just get it into the spot that was basically uphill. This doesn't look like a street car to me, but it has license plates, and it even has like street tires, right?
Approved tires.
What did this start life as?
Started as a 383 SC Charger that I purchased back in 1979. And through the years, one form or another, I always kept it around.
So what year is this?
It's in 1971.
Okay.
And we filled in the side marker lights because 71 and 72 are different. And it was easier finding 72 fenders. So we just filled it all in.
So you're second owner.
Yes.
You've had it all these years, and I'm guessing it's been through so many different phases.
Oh yeah, we had the 383 in it. Drove it when I was in high school. Moved up to 383, put a 440 in. Put a tunnel ram on it later. And then I got the burr up my butt to put in a Supercharged. Well, I didn't have the money at the time, and my grandmother loaned me the $3,500 for the Supercharged.
Thanks, Grandma.
Yeah. And that's what got the bug going. And we had it together till 2000 in a previous form with the 671 and the 440 in it. And then some stuff happened down in St. Louis, and I came home. I was kind of disgruntled, kind of upset. So I took it apart. Then I started thinking about it. We started working on something else. Well, of course, life happens. I have 2 kids, and then going through a divorce, so pushed everything further back up until the last couple of years. Now we finally got it back together.
And this is the first event that is actually out, correct?
Yes, in this carnation, yeah.
For how many years?
20.
So it's been sitting for 20 years.
Since 2000.
And actually, before we started recording, you mentioned that you never actually really had a chance to see it from this, from far away. This is the kind of funny thing about these kind of events. It's such a big event, and it's a great way to debut your build.
Yeah.
And I hear it a lot from these owners. They bring their cars out and they tell me, Larry, I've never seen it from more than 5 feet away.
Yeah,
because
I've always seen it in the trailer or from underneath.
Right, underneath, in the garage, or in the trailer. Yep. The fact that it's out here bathing in the sun, and it's beautiful, by the way. It is amazing. Let's kind of go over the outside. So in terms of body, you shaved a couple things.
Yeah, we shaved off the side marker lights. In order to get the tires fit, we also modified the wheel wells. We took several inches off the front and recontoured it to get the same spacing for front and back. Rich Kent did the chassis work underneath it. Put in a 14-point cage, and then I used a Magnum Magnum Force K-frame up front with their coilover shocks, and then we put a Ford 9-inch in with the Mark Williams Pro Stock center section 40 spline axles, and with the ladder bars. We didn't go with the 4-link.
But so with this setup, you didn't build it for any specific class or anything, did you? You just built it to go fast.
I just want to go fast.
Right. I like that.
There's not too many classes it would actually fit in, drag racing wise. But it's the chassis certified is 8 seconds, and so it will run that.
You have a plate on it, which, by the way, we got to talk about the plate here. All right. This is one of the things that kind of stopped me in my tracks when I saw it. So that is there's really no beating around the bush with that plate.
No.
Tell me a little bit about the plate. It's a real Illinois plate?
It's a real, legit Illinois plate. I actually had truck plates that said the same thing in regular passenger car. And it started out as a joke because my father worked for the Secretary of State. And we were trying to figure out the initial time what we were going to do for plates. So I kept throwing stuff at him. Couldn't figure it out. All of a sudden, I get in the mail, I get those plates. Well, it's Illinois, so everything in Illinois is for sale. So that's how basically came by the plate. Had a lot of complaints about it. There's the word hate in it. You have to prove to them what they're actually on and that it's a joke and stuff like that. I've always been a Chrysler person. Everywhere we would go, it's always Chevys. And they're always talking down about Mopars, so I figured I'd change the game a bit.
But the thing is, you actually drive this.
Yes.
You drive this on the street in
Very
Illinois.
carefully.
We literally just maybe moved it 50 feet, and I looked out the front window, and I'm thinking to myself, like, first of all, you could see how much heat is rising from the hood.
It runs hot.
Second of all, how do you even dyno something like this?
We dynoed it, the engine only, at the machine shop, and it was 900 horse with 3 pounds of boost. The motor's set up for 20 pounds. The Holley's fuel injection stuff we have basically programmed in, so it has a rough tune, but we have to put on to a chassis dyno now to fine tune everything else to really get it to where I can take it back out on the track.
So
sit back and really enjoy it.
You don't actually know potentially how much power it could make on 20 pounds of boost then?
No, it runs on 93 octane gas. No racing gas.
What's your estimate if you put racing gas in it?
Well, really can't put racing gas in because it'll foul out the oxygen sensors. Well, that's what Holley told me. So in order to put racing gas in, I'd have to change the oxygen sensors over and put a different tune. This car should run 850s.
Well, let's take a look at the motor a little closer. See, normally around this time of the video, I would actually ask you to pop the hood. But you don't,
no hood, it won't fit.
Yeah, you don't actually need that.
It's based off a Chrysler Mega Block. It's 540 cubic inch. It's 4.5 bore, 4.32 on the stroke. We're running Eagle HB rods, steel crank from Mopar Performance. We're running the Indy 572-13 heads. Compression, it's CP pistons. We're running about 8-to-1 on the compression.
You must have a huge fuel tank because this thing eats fuel so much.
Well, it's only 16 gallons, so we don't go very far.
You have to have a chase truck.
Yeah. I carry gas in the trailer just in case.
Right. Oh, this
like
thing
I said
is
earlier, it was just 30 minutes idling was 5 gallons of gas. So, yeah, it sucks it up pretty good. Well, all the interior was custom. The gentleman who did the roll cage and stuff just made a base frame for my gauges and stuff. These are Norris Cog digital gauges I purchased 20 years ago when I actually started the build. And then I adapted them into this system. Got 3 switches, 2 for fans, 1 for a pump, and then I had the ignition switch over here for the Holley computer. Turbo action reverse shift valve body for my 727 torque flight. Custom, the door panels were made by a friend of mine. These were also from the very first build 20 years ago, and I like them. I just prefer to keep them.
I actually really like this dash setup because sometimes it could get a little awkward if you take out the stock dash. This is super clean.
Yeah, I wrapped, everything was aluminum, so I wrapped it with the carbon fiber wrap just to give it the look of the injector to get it together. 14-point cage.
And I mean, it's evident that this is something that you drive on the street because of all the dynamat that you put in it. Yeah.
It still doesn't quiet it down very much. You still get a little bit of rattle. Yeah. And then of course I'm lazy, so I put in power windows.
I mean, nothing wrong with little. This is probably the only creature comfort, sir, in this whole.
It's too hard to reach across and turn the window down when you're somewhere.
I mean, you gotta go through a drive-through every now and then with this, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for them to hear when you go through the drive-through. You gotta turn it off and restart it.
That is awesome. I mean, how many street cars have wheelie bars like this?
There's not many.
This is just so badass.
They give you a hassle of it when they see it, but they haven't caught it yet.
I mean, and that's kind of the thing is, it's not like, I mean, I can't imagine you driving around on the street, you know, doing burnouts every stoplight either.
I used to.
This is incredible. I just can't believe how wide these tires are.
And actually, there's room for bigger tire.
Huh.
They make one tire size larger.
That will fit under.
Fit this, yes. So I was going to maybe over the winter change the rims over and put on the wider tire.
Well, Todd, thank you so much for bringing this car out, and thank you so much for showing it here at Holly Mopar Fest. Maybe next year you'll actually race this thing, huh?
Yes, that's what the plan is.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
Bring it out onto the track.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that. If you could turn it on, maybe so we can hear it a little bit. Maybe I might need to put my earplugs in. She's very angry.